Reddit by Reddit recap. Massage therapist or masseuse, have you ever had a session turn sexual with a client? How did it go down? Just curious. Is an ethics class part of the coursework when getting your massage license? We have to take an ethics class. We talk a lot about boundaries. Also, if someone works for a chain spa like Massage Envy or Hand and Stone, there is additional training on ethics and no tolerance rules. In the US anyways. Yes. But that only matters if you want to get or maintain a license. If you want a quick buck or duck, then it doesn't matter. That's just called prostitution or rape. Depending. ATF is everyone's mom a massage therapist. Most therapists don't massage 40 hours a week. Most therapists work non-traditional hours. Combine the two and you have an excellent profession for women who need to provide childcare. Plus the schooling it takes often is offered on nights and weekends and can be completed way shorter than a 2 or 4 year degree. My mom was a massage therapist for a few years. Never shared if when she had issues like that. But there was one couple who would come in for separate sessions about every 2-3 weeks. Apparently one day, the wife jokes that the massages are better than sex. My mom, since they're all on good terms, jokes with the husband about it the next time he's in. He pulls his head out of the pillow long enough to say, "Don't make me choose. I can't choose." Edit. He was saying he couldn't choose between sex with his wife versus a massage from my mom. I was totally expecting this to take a turn somewhere and I'm glad it didn't. Surprisingly wholesome. Stepdad is a professional massage therapist. Asking him for stuff like that is answered with a no. And continuing means you're no longer a client. Stepdad. Huh. I think that they had to find a new massage therapist. Edit. Thank you for the gold. As much as it is appreciated, just do a kind deed for a stranger instead and save your money. Maybe give someone a massage when they are asleep on the bus. Must be nice to wake up that. Had a very sweet female client face up and was massaging through her neck and occipital muscles the base of her skull when she leaned her face over and kind of pressed her cheek into my forearm and side nuzzled against me. She's just someone who totally zones out during massage, so while it wasn't overtly sexual, it certainly was an unusually intimate gesture. She snapped out of it in when I adjusted myself away from her cheek, a sap without being jarring, and blushed with immediate embarrassment. Other than that, I have a few clients, male and female, who make oddly sexual noises but no other obvious signs of arousal. With some of them I'm prepared for the worst when I ask them to turn over onto their backs. I think some of them may be getting more out of the treatment than I intend. But nothing untoward has happened, although we have had some people email and phone us to ask us if we do that kind of thing. If I wanted to jerk people off for money, I could do that without going through 3 years of school and paying annual professional dues. My spouse, who is also a therapist, had a teenage male client of hers reach his hand out to touch her thigh while she was standing next to the table and she politely and firmly shut him down. That's about as bad as it's gotten so far. First paragraph sounds like something from an anime. When I was a teenager, my friend's mom was a massage therapist. One day when I went over there to hang out, she had a brand new RAV4 in the driveway. Me and my other friends always made jokes about how she gave happy endings. Riffing off what her job was, your mom jokes were popular for us then. Well, when we started asking him how his mom got a brand new $35 K premium package RAV4, he told us one of his mom's clients gave it to her for free. The jokes suddenly were too awkward to tell anymore. Alright, if hand jobs are paying $35K these days, where can I sign up? Sure, it'll be gross and I'll probably cry the whole time. But 2 handy J's and I don't have to work for a year? Deal. Some people pay extra for the crying. I have a story as a client. I used to live in a great city located in Southern California. Across the street where I lived was a massage parlor ran out of an old historic home. I used to frequent as much as I could afford and things were great. Or so I thought. I had never been to a masseuse before then and thought big tubs, showers, And champagne was normal since it was the only point of reference I had. After each session I had, the ladies frequently asked me if I needed anything else or wanted to extend. Being very budget conscious, I'd say no thank you. It was great though. I'd get dressed and go home. On my last occasion though, things just felt off. She had me flip from my stomach and massaged my quads and let her fingers drift a little and would ask me if I wanted anything more. I'd sheepishly reply no. This is great. Thank you. As we finished she asked me one more time if I'd like anything else, but I declined. A few weeks later I'm walking home from work and the police are all over my street. As many of you have already guessed, they were busting the place for being a known brothel. I tiptoed back home and waited for them to come to my house and bust me, but thankfully that never happened. One of my friend's exes was a massage therapist. She said she constantly had people asking for hand jobs or to wear a low-cut shirt and such. Don't actual places for that exist in every major city? Why bother someone who could lose their job over it? Chances of them calling the cops is low. Going to a known rub and tug could be a great chance to get arrested for prostitution and in trouble with the wife. I'm a physiotherapist, but I have extensive training in deep tissue massage and dry needling. Pretty much every time I treat my girlfriend it ends with sex. Probably the closest thing to an answer you're gonna get. You're probably not gonna hear any stories about people with licenses doing anything sexual with someone, as if it ever got out they would immediately lose their billing number. But I will say I've worked in a gym before where the RMT was sleeping with a few of his patients in and outside of the gym. What is dry needling? I think it's when a guy with a really thin penis tries to have sex with a woman but she isn't turned on at all. Mom is a massage therapist. She has worked at several chiropractic offices. Oftentimes, if you're good enough and trustworthy enough, the chiropractors will give you the key so you can see clients on the weekends. I once had to take an Uber to her work when she was scheduled to massage this one guy. He was married and new to the US. He had been sending messages to my mom, which made her question his intent, but chalked it up to him not speaking a lot of English. I get a call from her telling me to Uber to her place of work as soon as possible. Apparently the guy had sent a message with this code phrase that in the massage world means things are going to become sexual. So I'm the first to arrive. My mom gets there and tries to downplay the situation to make herself feel better by saying things like, well, maybe he just didn't know what that meant. I could be drawing a conclusion that isn't true. He has a wife after all. Man comes in with candy and flowers. He sees me sitting in the chair really confused. Hands them to my mom. She massages him. He pays her. Gives me a sideways glance. And leaves. Son joins mother to give stress relieving massage to foreign guy MP4. This is the best one. My massage therapist told me of a time a very hot woman was in for the first time. He told her to undress to her comfort level and left for her to do so. Usually at this point you then lay down under the sheet. But he entered a few minutes later to find her sitting naked in a chair asking what she should do next. He gives more detailed instructions now. Yup. Happened to a co-worker. But it was an older man. She opened the door and said duck no and slammed it shut. She then opened the door slightly and made sure he understood to lie down on the table under the blanket. Having never been to a massage parlor, I would have done the same. Have different side of story. I was about 15 years old when that happened and it still gives me creeps. After a car accident I was assigned a massage therapist to massage my shoulder. Since it was injured. Nothing else. Just my hand and shoulder. So I come to this session and I see this really young guy waiting for me. I asked him, can I keep my clothes, and he said that I should be in my underwear. Already felt weird. But whatever, I carried on. So I lay on the table and he massages me. When suddenly he starts massaging my back. Then lower back. I already felt super uncomfortable at this point. And then he pulls a bit of my underwear. And think of fact that his hands were really oily, he slipped his hands right in between my ass. Oh my god. It was almost the end of the session and it did not last long. But I was so shocked that I freezed. I dressed up and I went to the reception to cancel any sessions with him. I did not report the ass accident. All the receptionist said. What went wrong? The old ladies love this guy. You'll make one happy. By giving your space. Oh, I'm a esthetician here. Not a masseuse. But I performed waxing on all parts of the body, so I certainly have a story or two. So, there's the Brazilian wax. Which is everything gone from your downstairs. Front and back. Salons have a male version they cheekily like to call manzillions. I've had a number of these. And without fail. When it comes time to take the towel away and start. There's at least a semi-chub going on. I'd explain that this happens with everyone. As penises aren't very self-aware. They just know they're out. There's a lady. And they're just happy to be there. I then place my first strip of wax. Let it set. Then re-eye and it would be like letting the air out of a balloon. Strangely. I never got any phone numbers. Oh, and to do your butthole you have to be on all fours. Big missed opportunity to call it a Brazilian. In the game BitLife it actually is called the Brazilian package and it says you get your back, sack, and crack waxed. My story but a co-worker's. He was giving a massage to a client and things were getting flirty. She was an attractive woman and he pushed it. Well, I guess he sucked at reading clues because she was married and was being friendly. She filed a complaint on him and he ended up losing his license. How did he push it? Asked her or tried to escalate by being a bit more intimate with his massage. I don't recall exactly, just that he tried. Okay, so I am a massage therapist. I was working out of a gym and the guy asked for a 30-minute massage on his legs and abs because he was a runner. Nothing unusual about that request. So I finished massaging his legs and was massaging his abs. I pulled down the sheet to his hips so his abs are exposed. He is completely naked under the sheet, not unusual. But the sheet is covering his privates. As I'm massaging his abs, he reaches his hand up to scratch his nose, but when his hand goes back down he accidentally pulled down the sheet to exposes his junk. I'm not bothered, I just pull the sheet back up over his junk and keep working. Then the sheet accidentally slipped down his hip again, exposing his dong again. I cover him up again and keep massaging his abs as that is what he asked for. Then it happens again. So this time I grabbed the sheet and tucked it under his hips this time and kept working without a word. He didn't try again. I continued as if nothing had happened, finished the massage like a professional and sent him on his way, and thankfully he never came back. Edit. Typo, I meant massage therapist. Boy has one wrong letter caused a lot of comments, lol. Edit 2. I apparently didn't describe this clear enough. The guy's penis was resting in the up position on his lower abs inches from where I was massaging his abs. So when he exposed his dong multiple times it became clear that he was hoping that I'd massage his dong instead of his abs. Best comment of the day. I don't know about you guys, but I do massages maybe once a month when my body becomes stiff and all. I regularly exercise, go the gym to keep my body healthy, and I have an okay-ish physique. Nothing Baywatch-esque, but I'm in the normal BMI. Twice already when I'm having a massage, 2 different girls wake me up in the middle of the massage asking if I wanted a hand job. I said no, and I just wanted to relax. First one seemed disappointed, the other was like oh okay, then proceeded to do her thing. This is unprofessional, am I right? They were the only 2 who asked me that in my entire life.